Hey guys, welcome to Coffee Code and Chat. I cheated today again. Got a coffee from To Go Place. Let me know if you guys could hear me. There's never a dull moment whenever I try to do these live streams. Stuff always happens to break or not break, or the audio's not working. I did update my Mac today, and maybe the update gave it some issues. But in today's video, I do want to talk about React.js. You need to know it for web development, and just basically anything you guys want to talk about as well, because the most important part is you guys. And I really love to hear from each and one of you guys, and I love to see what you guys been up to, what you guys been working on. And remember, my invitation to have you guys jump in live with me is always open, so don't be shy. If you want to jump on the call, I'll just throw the link on the bottom, invite you guys in, and we could have fun. I'm not sure, should I go hood or no hood? You know, that's how we roll here in Connecticut. Anyway, let's say hello to everybody. How's everybody doing? Already liking and smashing the button. I guess let me get over here so you guys could see better. I guess it helps if I show my face as well. I'm excited to have all of you guys here. I'm going to look at the screen because I want to look at the comments. See how you guys doing. Say hello. Say hello. Greetings everyone from Argentina, South America. So glad to be here again with you guys. Yes, 100%. Super awesome. We have 3D Games here. Hi all, greetings from Brazil here. But I can also speak Spanish too. Hey, that's awesome. You know, Portuguese, Spanish, Russian, any language you guys, more than welcome. Claudia, great to see you here. This is going to be good. I enjoy these live streams so much. Thank you so much. This means so much to me, Claudia, because I'm still learning how to do these live streams. And half the time I'm like, are we doing it? Is it happening? Is it good? Is it worthwhile? Is it not worthwhile? I don't know. But it's going to be fun as always. Glad to be here. Coding After 30 family. That's right. This channel and community is important. Improving a lot. Yeah, thanks. It's because of you guys. You know, I'm just some dude, but it's because of you guys who keep coming back, jumping in, and helping us grow as a community. That's the most important part here. Alex is here. Hey, brother from Latin America too. It's a pleasure to be here with you guys. Hola, todos. Yes, it's a pleasure to have you guys all here. It's super awesome, super fantastic. I'm really, really excited. I have my coffee already and prepared with me. Hey, cheers, my man. I guess my hood's not going to stay. It's fine. I'm having a bad hair day. I didn't think it was possible. Apparently it is. I just comb it a little bit to the right. Fixes everything. Yes, Adrian has definitely got the plan right there. Smash the like button to help the YouTube algorithm. Is that how all the cool kids do it? To channel grow more faster. Let's see here. Hello, Christopher. Coffee is ready to go. I'm ready too, as ready as I'm ever going to be. I had issues with audio, and so I'm glad it's working. Every time, 5 minutes before I turn on the live stream, it's like the end of the world. I mean, earlier today I had a scare because I updated my Mac to the newest, greatest software by hitting the update button. And then when I turned it on, the screen was like going like this. And I was like, oh no, I broke it. I'm not going to be able to do anything today. And luckily, it's not as broken. And I'm able to do this live stream at some sort of capacity. So I'm super excited here. Let's keep saying hello to everybody before we jump in. No music yet. I only hear breathing and typing on the keyboard. That was the old comment. Yes, of course. That's me breathing heavily, ASMR style, while typing on the keyboard. You know, that's what some of you guys are into. And breathing heavily. Yeah, I just tried to figure out why my music and audio wasn't working. So I'm glad that it's moving now. Yes, and of course, I'm late on these comments. Image is good. Audio is good. We're ready to go. My coffee's ready to go. Nice. Now no image. It's okay. We can't see you. Only the thumbnail on the streaming. All right. Welcome, Logic Zindy. Thank you for all your help. Hey everyone, how was everybody's week? Mine was awesome. Well, that is fantastic. I'm glad you're having fun. Yes, keep letting me know in the comments if things are working. Adrian, my week was great. Thanks, bro, for asking. Yes, we are all having good times here. Yes, saying hello for the first few minutes as people jump in before we get into our topic and go from there. I enjoy these streams. Thank you for the effort. Well, thank you, Alex, for joining these streams, because if none of you guys would come, I would be here by myself. What am I doing by myself? Sup, Alex? Sup? Hey, what's up, everybody? Yes, what's up, everybody? So in today's video, and again, let me know if I'm still in the video, if the audio is good. But in today's video, we're going to talk about, do you need to know React as a framework to get a job? Or is it even important to know a framework? Or what is important when you're trying to get a job as a web developer? By the way, coding at home, making sure you're doing your work, it's probably the most important part. Making sure that you guys constantly coding. And for those of you who are just starting out, and a lot of you guys are returning peeps, so you guys know the deal. But at the end of the day, if you're not coding in front of your computer, doing the work and actually practicing the skill that you will be using at work, coding, right? Like, it's going to be impossible to get a job, because at the end of the day, you have to be able to do what it is that you're going to get paid for. So that's like super important to remember. And so, but as everybody knows, the bloated soy dev strike force, what's up? Yes, that's a lot to unpack over there. I don't know. Speaking of soy, by the way, I'm not a big fan. I'll be honest with you guys right now. Soy is not my thing. But it is, some people, swear by its health benefits. So I am, just, that's what I have to say about that. Anyway, but it's good to have all of you guys here. And if you have any questions or you want to add to the conversation, man, that's Spireball. I guess that's it. I just realized that is your name. I thought that was part of the comment. I'm like, bloated soy dev strike force. I like it. But but what's up again? Yeah, guys, if you have questions, let me know in the comments. Let me know if the audio is still good, if I didn't push a button and break something. It's very common for me to break stuff, and I'm just amazed and happy to be live with you guys. And by the way, I did an awesome video with this guy, Hamza. I posted on my YouTube channel, I think yesterday. If you guys haven't checked it out, definitely check it out. It's a great video. We talk about, how he went to get his first web dev job, what his experience been. But more importantly, we also took a look at some basic portfolio projects that I had lying around, and also my resume that needed to be redone. So if you guys, I always talk about 3 phases that you will find yourself when learning to code, to get a job, to switch careers. Obviously phase 1, learn the language that you need to know to be able to do the job that you're applying for. And the second phase is to make sure that you have 3 to 5 portfolio projects ready to go before you start applying, at least 3 in the minimum. And we talk more about what they were, and we could also do so today. And number 3, that's your interview prep, doing, like algorithm and data structure problems, practicing interviewing questions, making sure your LinkedIn profile is all ready to go and is all set before applying. So we do briefly talk about all those things at that interview, and it's very good and insightful. So if you guys haven't seen it, definitely check it out. And I hope you guys are all doing good this evening or this morning, wherever you guys are. And I hope you guys are making progress in the goals that you guys have set for yourself, because it's important to make sure that you always have a focus and you're moving to where we're going. And today's video I titled, do you need to know React to become a front-end web developer to get the job done? And it's almost like a trick question, because there's React and JavaScript is not the only path to get the job. You could do it with ASP.NET. You could do it with PHP and WordPress or whatever framework they also have available for that. And you could do it even with Django and Python. But the most important part is that you do identify a stack that is in demand in your area when looking to get hired, and you follow that path and you follow that you know, to completion. Don't try to do everything. One of the biggest mistakes I make, and I always talk about it because it's very important, and I got an email the other day which still says to me that it's still a mistake that happens, is that a lot of people try to do too many different things. So in one email, this guy wrote to me about C++, PHP, Python, JavaScript, and that's already too much stuff, right? If you're looking to get a job in only Python, then study Python, study data science stuff, and Django if you want to do front end with Python. But if you already started Python, do it with Django, and that's your path. If you're looking to, get in with ASP.NET, that's what you study. And in my case, like I did with React and JavaScript, HTML, CSS, of course. That was my path. But the super important part is to make sure that you guys have a defined path. But with that being said, is React required to get a job? Is it important for us to get to where we need to go? And we're going to answer that in just a moment. Take a look at a few things, but let me jump in on the comments here. This is a good one. Alex, thank you for your question. Coding after 30, have you ever gotten a design and had no idea what to do? Yes, it's very common to, especially when you're doing something you've never done before, you might get a design and be like, hey, I'm not even sure where to start. And through practice, through repetition, you are going to get better. So the things that I've built in the past, of course, are easy for me to build now because I have an idea of what to do. And if it's something brand new, look, once you learn how to do it, it's also going to become easier. And one of the tricks with programming is not only be able to build the things that you're building, but sometimes you're going to get something challenging, something new. And the secret to that becomes of being able to look it up, how to do it. Here, I'll give you a great example. We have Logic's Indie here. He has a YouTube channel. He has some great projects that he's done with games. And so he's really good with JavaScript and games. And I think it's really cool because in my opinion, game dev is way harder than web development stuff, especially because there's more math, and I'm not the biggest fan of math, even though I'm trying to change that. And so he's been helping me to build some simple JavaScript games. But the point that I'm making is that that's his domain. That's something where he's comfortable. And he's able to do things way faster and better than I can. And for me, it's like a whole new world. I have no idea what's going on. But here's the thing. If you understand basics of JavaScript and you understand a language well, it's very easy to jump in and pick things up. So the point is, learn the language that you need to know to be effective and efficient at your job, whatever that language may be. Maybe it's JavaScript, maybe it's Python, maybe it's C++ for whatever reason, because you like to make games in Unreal Engine, I guess, because nobody makes Windows apps anymore. At least I don't think so. But whatever your domain is, stick to that and make sure you know it, because the truth is, front-end frameworks will come and go, right? And I'm going to look at an article in just a moment. But the point is, if you know how to code, if you understand the language, whatever new framework comes out, you'll be able to pick it up and learn it fairly easily. But the caveat being for that, now there's, in my area, there's plenty of React jobs available. That's why I focus on React, right? But at the end of the day, the point of being a good programmer is understanding the fundamentals of coding, being able to solve problems, understanding the language at a deep enough level that when new frameworks come out, it's like icing on the cake that you're able to take advantage of and be more productive. And since you already know the underlying language, JavaScript, it will be very easy to learn. So before I jump into this article, let me check out some of these comments here. Hey Raymond, good to see you here. Which job website do you recommend to check that shows what high on demand jobs you have in your area? I use a couple. I start with LinkedIn first. I do Indeed. Then there's also another one called AngelList. It's kind of cool. And then there's Hire.com. So all those websites are really good. Just do a bunch of different websites and see what you find. And again, depending where you live, if you live in another country, maybe there's different websites specific to that. But my favorite ones is I start with LinkedIn. Not my favorite one, but that's where I start. Then I like hired.com, and then I like Angels List. They have a lot of great opportunities, especially if you're just starting out. There's a lot of great startup companies that you could get into. And in my opinion, it's been much easier to apply to smaller companies. It's just maybe been my experience. So that's all I could share with you guys. But that's where I go. And of course, Indeed and stuff like that. Or Glassdoor or what, any one of those sites. But basically, don't use just one. Use a couple to kind of get an idea of what's important in your area. Adrian, would you consider doing these streams a little bit earlier? I don't have any problem with current time, but in order so we have many more people. Totally get it, and I think I will. I might have to. Actually, I might not have a choice. So right now I'm in Connecticut, and I'm able to yell in my basement at my family's house as loud as I want and not bother anybody. But when I move back to Texas, I live in an apartment, and so I might actually will have to change some of these streams to maybe an hour or hour and a half earlier. And I know that maybe some people will enjoy that more, maybe some people will not enjoy that more, but we'll figure it out. But that might be the case. And by the way, I'm heading back to Texas next week, so next Friday there probably won't be like a normal live stream. I might just say hello from while I'm driving to Austin. But yeah, that'll be it. Hey, this is a great question. Do you have any app products ideas that could be built with React, something that people might actually pay for? I want to build something useful instead of just another portfolio app. And you know what? That's exactly what a lot of people should be striving. When you're a beginner, something like that could be very difficult to conceptualize. But once you understand programming, that's exactly Spiral. I don't know if I say your name right, but that's exactly what you should be doing. And that's the secret, because not only does that show that you just want to program, but it shows that you're actually trying to solve a problem that will help not just you but everybody else. And that's how you make money in business, is you offer solutions. The issue is for someone like, brand new. I've only been coding for working for a year. I still consider myself as a brand new developer. Something like that, might not be as easy as you describe it. And, but there's plenty of things you could do. I have a friend, he's working on a couple of things in the finance industry to do with stock market. He is also doing other projects that related to, hotels and different stuff like that. So, but the point is if you find a need for a solution, sometimes that's already hard in itself. But then at the same time, there's plenty of people. Maybe I don't have many ideas, but everybody has an idea. There's so many people that say, oh, I have this $1 million idea and I just need to learn how to code. And then you could have the opposite problem. You could learn how to code, but you might not have a good idea. And listen, the reason why people make big bucks is because they have good ideas. So if you get the answer to that question, let me know. I would like to know that. But yeah, that's definitely a very good point you made. Looking not just to build something for your portfolio, but you want to build something that people will pay money for. And that becomes super important, especially if you want to be self-employed and you have that entrepreneurial mindset, is to figure out where there's a need in the market and create something that fills that need, because that's the fastest way to riches. But not everybody's able to do that, especially for those of us who are starting out in the beginning of our journey. That might be something challenging. But that was an excellent question. When should I start learning React? Sayak, hello, welcome. Basically, my mistake that I made, and of course everybody has a different path that they travel, is that I spent way too much time on JavaScript, HTML, and CSS, and I was stuck in tutorial hell. And if you ask me to make a project from start to finish, even if it was a basic blog website, I wouldn't be able to do it. And so one of my friends, he told me, listen, learn React right away. and become productive with React as quickly as possible because there's jobs out there. So the answer would be to your question, when should you start learning React? As soon as you understand basics of JavaScript. And what I mean by that, you know the basics of the syntax language. You know how to work with arrays, functions, with objects. You understand like the basic syntax, and you feel comfortable with all the array methods, and you understand the DOM manipulation of how it works, how to do it. You understand the basics of it, but you don't have to be an expert of it. So what I would say, if you build like 2 or 3 HTML, CSS websites which have JavaScript functionality like a modal, like a image slider, things like that, then you're ready to move to React. And instead of trying to create simple HTML, CSS, JavaScript sites, make those same sites but use React. So basically, as soon as you know the basics of JavaScript, you know the basics of DOM manipulation, go right to React. And the reason why is because React makes dealing with DOM manipulation very easy and very intuitive once you start using it. It's actually, I would say, if you start using React for a while and you don't understand the basics of JavaScript, you actually might be able to make more things in React, but when someone asks you to make those same things with a vanilla JavaScript, you won't be able to do it. So I encourage you guys, and this is something that I do, is I'll learn just enough HTML and CSS to build that simple thing that I want to build. Then I will learn just as much JavaScript that I need, then just as much as React. And then let's say I get to a point in React where it's like, man, I know how to do this in React, but I don't know how to do it in JavaScript. I go back, learn a little bit more JavaScript, and then I get to a point, man, I need to get back and learn React. And so I piggyback, and I keep building up my skills that way. But I don't just spend, like 4 months HTML and CSS. I'm just exaggerating examples. Or 4 months just JavaScript. I try to do that approach where try to learn as much as possible to be dangerous and start building stuff. Because through building, that's when all the learning happens. So don't wait too long. Super important. I'm getting bored with front-end dev. What should I do? Yeah, it could be very boring and very frustrating. But the thing is, it's the way it is. And so this is something that I started doing. I'm not saying I recommend this. So I was like, okay, doing front-end stuff all the time, is boring. And it's boring a lot of times because maybe the things that you're trying to solve for are the same things you already solved for in the past. For instance, you're building that same blog site that you built 20 times, or you're doing like the same app that you've done. So try to find things that are out of your comfort level and try to tackle those solutions. Could be that new challenge you're looking for. For me though, I was like, you know what? JavaScript is my main language. React is the framework of choice. But when I'm not doing, or when I get bored with just sitting home, banging my head against the desk doing front end, I'm like, I'm going to learn how to make games with JavaScript. And actually Indie Logics, who is in the chat here, he's helping me out with that. And what I like about that is that you get to spend on doing a lot of stuff with vanilla JavaScript. Also, games do add an additional layer of like game logic that you have to think through. And it's a fun way for me to do something else that allows me to still practice coding. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to be a game developer, because it's almost impossible to make it in this. Like, if you think it's hard to get into web development, just imagine how hard it is to get into indie development or game development, because it's so competitive. So many people want to do it. And there's probably millions games on Steam that you haven't even heard of aspiring indie game developers. But if you're a web developer, that's what you do for your job, and you want to take a break, but also do something related to coding, that's a great way, at least for me, to do something new, focus on the core of JavaScript. But like I said before, if maybe gaming is boring to you, just try to find challenges that are 10 to 15% outside your current reach, something that if you kind of dip your toes into it will push you to learn new things and make things more exciting. But yeah, sometimes learning things is boring. Yeah, do them in the morning, Paulie. Yeah, man. Yeah. At some point, I'm probably going to have 2 live streams. One in the morning, one at night. And both going to be a decent hour. But I totally get it. Yeah, so my current job is actually in Texas. And I'm just staying in Connecticut, working remotely. And when I move back to Texas, yes, I'm hoping to stay working remote. And I'm also starting a contract remote gig. It's for a couple of months. We'll see how it goes. If the investors like what we do, hopefully there'll be more work for me. But yeah, I'm pretty excited working. But let's jump in here. I just want to show you, because we are talking about, frameworks and all this other stuff. So I did want to show you kind of this idea, but I see we also have a lot more comments, because I always forget to scroll. Yeah, I moved to Texas permanently last year. That's my place. That's my jam. I really enjoyed there, and I kind of had to come back to Connecticut. My sister's pregnant, and so I did not want to miss like that whole amazing fun time having a new member in our family added. And then I was here hanging out with my daughter. She just moved to Japan for 3 years, and now I'm ready to go back to Texas. So I will be going back soon, and I'm pretty excited. Yeah, you could make another streaming about working remotely. I want to work remotely permanently, indefinitely. In fact, great video about remote work shared from your other channels. Yeah, yeah, and that's always in my mind to kind of think about remote opportunities that people could find. And to be honest, it's like, with the pandemic, I think things are much, maybe a little bit more easier. Like if you asked me before the pandemic, what are the chances of me getting a remote job? And it would be slim, because having a remote job is pretty nice, you know what I mean? And so if you're just starting out, it would be pretty tough to get a job where it's remote right from the beginning. And kind of like the job that I started, I actually had to physically go to the office. And the only reason it became remote is because of this whole pandemic thing. So, and hopefully it's going to change for the future, that most companies would actually prefer you working remotely. And so that would make it easier. But prior to the pandemic, remote work was more challenging, and it's something you get, as like your congratulations to you, like you've been working really hard, you've been doing good, and like you've been in the field for a while, and it's kind of like an additional benefit of being able to work remote. So, Alex, it's something that I talk about a lot on this channel, and we also have a Slack group kind of helping people to get their first 5 portfolio projects going. By the way, if you guys are interested, you could always email me at codingafter30@gmail.com. But basically what you should be able to do with React, you don't have to do anything too crazy and complex, but at the bare minimum, someone should give you a mock-up of a Photoshop file or whatever, and you should be able to take that mock-up and recreate it almost like pixel perfect, almost pixel perfect, And so the idea is you should be able to take any website that you see online, and I'll show you, like I've showed this example before, and you should be able to recreate it. So for instance, I'll come back to this article in a second. Here's a website that I found, and this is something we're building in our community project. So the goal is for all the students to be able to find a website they like. And I chose this one for everybody. Why? Because I wanted everybody to build the same project, so we kind of have some consistency. But the idea is that you should be able to find something like this and be able to recreate it. So here's, no, that's not it. That's not it. That's not it. Yeah, this is it. So this is basically, and I zoomed in so you guys could see it better. But here's the website that I'm rebuilding in the community project. Basically, the idea is like I'm kind of pretending, a front designer or somebody gave us this design and they told us to recreate it into a website. So this is basically what we're doing. And you should be able to take a simple website, and yeah, the bottom section is not done yet. So as you could see on the final section here, that they have the form and they have all this other great stuff. So I'm almost done. Right, I'm almost done with my community project. I have to finish the bottom and make it responsive. So, here's some basic CSS stuff. And basically, the goal for the first project was to be able to take something and basically recreate it. So, like, the skill you should have is any design that someone gives you, you should be able to recreate it from scratch in React. That's the bare minimum. And the second thing I would say is being familiar with APIs. And I showed this project before. I'll show. I'm not going to show now, but basically I created like a COVID tracker, which basically the point is it doesn't even have to be a COVID tracker. It could be anything that you show that you understand how to connect to an API, how to get data from API, and how to use an API. And you should probably like step one, be comfortable with getting data from API and populating your website dynamically. So that's also important to know. So if you're comfortable with being able to work with APIs and you could recreate a website from scratch, then you're good to go. If you wanted to take it to the next level, obviously it's creating some sort of backend that you're able to practice, creating data, reading data, updating data, deleting data. So it could be like a blog with users. Users can log in. If you're not logged in, then they can't edit or delete posts. If they log in, they could create a post, stuff like that. So, and a lot of people, they're like, that already sounds like a lot. Yeah, like getting into web development and programming is not easy. It is very difficult, and those are the basic things that you have to do. And in my last live stream, I kind of talked more in terms of like the projects and what we have to do, but that's kind of like what I'm going to do for today. Yes, Marble, welcome to building stuff for actual people to use, especially if you don't work for a company where they tell you what to build. Is you're going to create things and you're going to have people either going to like it, people going to either hate it, people going to complain, they're going to tell you like, how come you only had those features but not these features, especially when it's something that they're not paying for. Everybody wants to be as picky as hell when they're using something that's free and someone created out of their kindness of their heart and their grace. I mean, it sounds for me, Spearball, that you're looking to kind of, I'm thinking you have more of an entrepreneurial website, or at least you're kind of trying to engage yourself from that perspective by building things that people are going to use. So if that's something that you're kind of seriously considering, like you asked before, I would take a step back and do some market research for products that you could build. Basically, study a bunch of, and of course, it's limitless. Find an area, maybe it's in finance, maybe it's online somewhere, and do it where people would pay money for, So I would probably like doing anything that's finance related, where let's say people are professionals and they already have jobs and there's some sort of app that helps them save time by managing their investors or being able to see aggregate of their investments in one place, which is like pretty easy. That's like a good way to go. But basically, yeah, it's like there's a lot of ungrateful people that will not appreciate the stuff you do, and that's just the way it is. You have to kind of be okay with that. And that's how sometimes it is, you know what I mean? But yeah, I totally get it. But at least, dude, the thing for that you build that plugin for this course, that's a great start, and that could be a jumping point. One thing to consider would be interesting is I'm not familiar with this, so but building something maybe there's plenty of people who are recruiters. Maybe building something for recruiters that like some sort of web scraper that will scrape, I don't know, LinkedIn or whatever, insert social media here, and will find candidates that fit the description that they're looking for. So it saves them time from reviewing people's profiles and resumes. They will just have an automatic bot that does that. That's something probably people will pay for because it saves time and it, adds a lot of value. Why do something that, some sort of auto application could do it for you? You know what I mean? That's like one interesting idea and something that I'm not going to build. So you're more than welcome to take that idea. Yeah, hey, listen. You're asking a lot of good questions. If you're down to speak live with me, let me know. Maybe we could do a live stream and literally go between both of us and brainstorm and kind of like do a stream around that. And maybe we could pre-record it so that way we could have more well thought out, ideas that we came up with rather than like kind of riffing like I'm doing now. But yeah, let me know if you're interested. My email is codingafter30@gmail.com. I'm thinking of learning Merge Stack. Is it a good idea? Yeah, so that's a great stack. Basically, learning MongoDB, Express, React, and Node. Yes. So what I would say is, if that's what you're going to commit to, do not waver in your commitment, right? Don't at the last minute be like, I need to learn PHP, which you shouldn't, or unless you're doing WordPress. Or like, oh, I decided I'm going to become a Python data science developer. If you pick Merge Stack, do not stop doing Merge Stack until you get your job. And once you get a job, then you could decide to add something new. And that's kind of what I did. I decided that I am going to just do React JavaScript until I get my first job. And now that I got my first job, I'm kind of transitioning into doing C# as my backend language. And the reason why I don't concentrate on Mern right now is because I work at a company where our backend is with C#, and it's actually something that I need to know for work, and that's why I'm doing. If somebody hires me tomorrow and they're like, look, you know JavaScript, you know React, we also need you to learn, Node.js and be able to do a whole full stack application, I'm going to do it, right? That's not a problem. But the point is, when you're starting out, don't change your mind. Stay committed. If you could decided this is what you're going to do it. Don't stop until you get your job. There's plenty of Merge Stack jobs out there that it's not like you're going to learn it and you're going to be like, oh, I can't find a job. No, there's plenty of jobs there. There's plenty of jobs. It's all good. Yeah, Logic's Indie, he's the one who's helped me build the game. Yeah, you should definitely try making games. It's a lot like doing coding challenges, but more fun. 100%. And making games, even if you don't do it as a job, it definitely stimulates your mind because you have to think through logic and you have to think of how different pieces of your game are going to interact with each other, which is, in my opinion, more complex than something you would find on a front web application or even like back-end application. So it's kind of cool, and definitely Logix is right. Recommend that you guys do something like that. Do you have any side hustles using coding, and what you have heard or know about side hustle ideas? Man, yeah, side hustle is my middle name. And then not finishing any of the Udemy courses of the 1,000 courses that I got is probably my second middle name. But side hustle, it's important. The hardest thing to do with side hustle is to pick one thing and do it well enough that you're going to get paid. Because a lot of times people will pick something, they will work at it haphazardly. I know this because I've done it, and not succeed, and then be like, maybe the side hustle I chose is not working out for me, so then they pick something else. And then the second thing they pick doesn't work out because, again, they didn't spend enough time or they jumped into it blindly. And then they switch to a third thing. So what I would say, just like the other example I gave, before you pick something, do some research. See, is there a demand for the service that you want to provide, and kind of go into it that way. Because side hustle is awesome when you're successful. Side hustle when you're just starting to build your business is a pain. You're better off getting a job and working, because side hustle is basically being an entrepreneur. It's not just about being able to provide a service. It's about making the sales. It's about managing your books. It's about, delivering the product and dealing with customers and selling your services, which is the hardest thing that people could do. So if you decide to do a side hustle, again, it's never a quick fix. It's actually very difficult. Like for me, the approach that I take, my job is my side hustle. And the thing like growing this YouTube channel and this other project that I have, that's my main gig. Even though it's not making enough money for me to make a living off it. But the whole point is that I am fully committed on the things that I'm doing to make them work. And job just basically allows me to pay my bills and to finance my side hustle. But a lot of people think of their side hustle as extra way to make money while they work their job. You know what I mean? The idea is, if you're gonna put effort into a side hustle, you gotta think about it like it's gonna be your main hustle. Right? Otherwise, just work on getting that job and working at your job, because For 40 hours a week, you get the money that you get, go home and relax. Side hustle, there's no 40-hour week in side hustle. It's like 80 hours nonstop. Side hustle basically means full-time. Or side hustle that is not full-time means you're doing it half-ass. And I'm able to say that because I've done a lot of stuff half-ass. That's why I have a lot of failed endeavors. I'm not going to sugarcoat it for you, but amazing question. Listen, I'm going to jump to Tech Rally. My man, if you're here, the man, the myth, the legend himself is live. Tech Rally, I love you so much. And Tech Rally, by the way, has an amazing channel, and he just got a job at Amazon. I'm so excited. It is amazing. This guy, by the way, you listen to him talk, most amazing voice ever. And I know the guy's humble as hell. I know he paid the price to get to where he is right now and the work that he did. And bro, you're always more than welcome, Tech Rally, to jump on lives. I always love having conversations. Just hit me up, let me know. Always fun, always amazing. But yeah, congratulations to Tech Rally. Go check out his channel, even if it's just to listen to his sexy voice. But by the way, his videos are phenomenal. He puts in time and effort. He talks about relevant subjects, and also amazing guy all around. So check out his channel. Make sure you get more Lizano Gumbo on the way back to Texas, boss. Hell yeah. I'm excited. I'm going to have to, like, if you have any, like, stops on the way that you recommend, you could email me at codingafter30@gmail.com. I'd love to look what's the best place to get it. But yeah, no, I'm all for trying new things. Will be amazing. Another legend, CompSci, CodeFi, loving the community project. You have everything building. Here's another guy who's gonna be on top of YouTube. Like Tech Rally, him. I'm jealous because they make better content than I do. I get so annoyed actually. But they're amazing. Check out his channel as well. We just did an interview, me and him, that I mentioned earlier in this video. It is really amazing. You guys go check out that video right now and go check out his channel. And we have a lot more cooler things to come that are the nitty-gritty things you should be doing to get a job. Like how do you apply to companies? What are the tricks? What are the secret? Hamza from CompSci CodeFi is the man. Tech Rally is the man. They're amazing. Hey, can you suggest some good React courses, bootcamp resources? So I'm not sure of any good bootcamps because I myself did not go to bootcamp. My favorite person when you're getting started with React, because you could do a lot of his stuff for free on YouTube, it's this guy, John Smigla, or Coding Addict on YouTube. He has a 10-hour course on YouTube for free on React. So I would start there, like complete his course. And then he also has some awesome Udemy classes that build on the courses that he has. I took all his React and all of his actually courses on Udemy, and except one on Svelte. I don't know how I feel about Svelte right now, but we're gonna bring that, why I brought that up in just a moment. But yeah, he's the first person I would go for. And then also Tyler McGinnis has a great React course, but his online subscription is kind of pricey. You know, it's like $40 a month. I don't know. But basically, start on YouTube. Start with Coding Addict. He has one. And then there's another one that I did, which is kind of also on Udemy. But is this guy, he basically shows how to create a React front end with ASP.NET backend. Not saying that's a course for you, but it was a course for me because at my job, that's exactly what we do. We work with C# in the back end and React in the front end. So I felt like it would be like amazing practice for me to do and get to. Yeah, the trio, Tech Rally, CompSci, and Coding After 30. Listen, I just want to say, if you got to meet in person and like go to like a club or something, like, I mean, not that like I go to clubs, I mean, anymore or ever, and get jiggy with it. But the point is, yeah, we'd kill it. We'd go out night in town, it'd be amazing. You guys are amazing. What's up? Raymond, what language do I need to learn to do web scraping? Now, if you're already learning web development, you know, that means you learn HTML, CSS, and you're learning JavaScript. And you also want to do front-end developer, so you're probably learning React. then stick with JavaScript. Because there's ways to do web scraping with JavaScript. But if you don't care to be a front-end developer and you just want to focus on data scraping, Python is the way to go. Python is the language of choice, but I think there's a lot you could do with JavaScript. I'm just very biased for JavaScript, and saying to do Python hurts me. But the fact is, it's a better choice for scraping, although there's a lot of good libraries that allow you to do web scraping with JavaScript. So, yeah, nice. Yeah, definitely look into Python and look at both. Look at Python web scraping and JavaScript web scraping. Jack Crowley, what's up? It's going to have the 30 party. Listen, we should all three. Oh my God, it's going to be so epic if all three of us jump on a call right now. It doesn't have to be now. We could do it. Hey, why don't we do that? What would it take for me to convince ComSci CodeFi, smash the like button, put in the comments, and Tech Rally to jump on the stream right now? Like, how ridiculous would that be? That would be insane. I will take my shirt off, at least this top, if Tech Rally and ComSci right now want to jump on the stream. Let me know. You guys, let me know in the comments if you want to see that happen. Now, bro, even if for 10 minutes, let's do it. ComSci, Tech Rally. Let me know in the comments you want to do a live right now. I'm not even kidding. They'll be super. I mean, the world will probably end. It's like when you got 3 planets and the sun align, form an eclipse, and crazy stuff. That'll be amazing. I'm kind of getting out of control here, but it is what it is. It is really enjoying new community. YouTubers is growing. It is phenomenal. YouTube is our unpaid internship side hustle. 100%. Bro, Tech Rally. ComSci. Let's do a live right now. I'm just saying. But Tech Rally, or anybody who's done any YouTube, will know that it's almost easier to build a rocket ship than it is to become successful on YouTube. Don't let all these other successful YouTube channels fool you that it's easy. It is a grind. The amount of time and effort that YouTube requires, that's why a lot of people don't become successful, because they quit. They get beaten down by the YouTube algorithm and they never make it. Yeah, ComSci is killing it with his channel. It is amazing, and I'm excited to see. I'm very cool, where I started my YouTube channel, and I hope I could hang with you guys. But I'm very excited where Tech Rally is going to go with his channel, and I'm excited where ComSci CodeFi is going to head with his channel. It will be pretty amazing to kind of see. They're definitely up and coming, and they have a lot of great stuff to offer. Listen, Branson, Charlie, to be honest with you, I don't know half that stuff, and I was able to get a job. The caveat being to that is that there's going to be jobs that do require that, and they're not going to hire you. But there's also jobs where you go in, you show your portfolio projects that you worked on, you show the stuff you built, and you're going to get a job. That's kind of what happened in my case. So this is what I would recommend. So I don't want to say it's not important. It is pretty important. So what I would say to you is that, number 1, learn the language that you have to learn. Number 2, build 3 to 5 projects for your portfolio with that said language. And then 3, when you start applying for interviews, focus on doing algorithmic questions, working with data structures. Focus on doing interview questions. Like if you did React, do top 30 React interview questions and practice those. Do something like Lead Code or whatever. And while you're getting ready to interview and interviewing, that's when you spend that time studying that stuff so it's fresh in your mind. But in my kind of humble opinion, if you don't have a portfolio, then don't waste your time doing it at the moment, if that makes sense to you. But it is important. I'm 100% sure to get a job in any FANG companies, you definitely need to do algorithms and data structures. But I just want to say that, it's important at some point, but not at the beginning. Yeah, I'm glad to have you on Slack. It's a small community, kind of how I'm going to keep it. At some point, I'm going to just close Slack channel and move all the new people to Discord. But the Slack community I'm going to keep. So if you're kind of on the fence, send me an email, codingafter30@gmail.com, and join the Slack channel. We basically just work together as a community to build your first 5 projects for your portfolio. And so it's a lot of fun. Yeah, let's all talk and definitely schedule. I'm telling you, the 3 of us, we're going to kill it. It's going to be the most epic live stream. It's going to be amazing. Like, I would be so excited for that. Just do it. Yeah. No, I get it. People have schedules. Web Dev Junkie, welcome again. I subscribe to Web Dev Junkie's channel. Amazing channel, by the way. Go subscribe to his channel too. He actually makes really good tutorials. Right? I don't just subscribe for people for no reason, believe it or not. He does have some great JavaScript tutorials and other stuff. Like, I literally subscribe to YouTube channels because there's certain value I'm looking to get, not just pure entertainment that you guys getting from a channel like mine. Just kidding. I mean, honestly, we're killing it. But he has an amazing channel, really good stuff. But anyway, yeah. A lot, like, I have 2 accounts for YouTube. I have Coding After 30, and then I have my trolling account. So what I do on my Coding After 30, I only subscribe to other developers, and I subscribe on like channels that kind of show like tutorial content of things that I'm currently learning. So that's very important. I very rarely, like, the only YouTube channel I watch for entertainment, just because it's hilarious, is Tech Lead. Because the honest truth is that if you're watching more YouTube more than you're coding at home, your priority is wrong. You got to get and jump in and do some coding to get stuff done. And I keep jumping to this article, but you guys doing so many awesome comments, making it difficult for me. How long did I start the YouTube channel? Probably like four years ago. I'm gonna have to find the video I made a while ago. And then, I was lazy, procrastinated, didn't do anything with it, and that's how most of the things in my life that I start. Sad. I'm getting emotional. Yeah, this channel's been out forever, but it started blowing up. I mean blowing up, meaning I finally was able to hit 1,000 subscribers when I started putting consistent effort. I think that if you were to have a theme for a side hustle, for learning to code, even starting a YouTube channel, is consistency and grinding over time. And getting a coding job, starting a YouTube channel, these skills require you to study and be on top of your game like every day. It's like going up an escalator backwards, like you're walking up a backwards escalator that as soon as you stop, is going to bring you back to the bottom. You got to move, you got to study, you got to hustle, and that's the way you do it. And so, yeah, I started the YouTube channel a long time ago, but I was inconsistent. I didn't put effort, I didn't put consistency into it, and it really hurt me. So it's only recently, in the past like a year, 8 months maybe, that I started getting traction. So let that showcase to you guys that there's no easy formula, easy, magic pill. Whatever you decide to do, you're going to have to put in the work. Yeah, I have a Slack channel, Tech Rally. You could email me at codingafter30@gmail.com. It's I should have did a Discord from the beginning, but it's a small community. I think like you and Hamza will be amazing. Like Hamza's already there. You would be an amazing addition to it because you would definitely complement the channel for sure. So send me an email, or I could add you with it, or I'll send you a link on Discord. It'll be awesome to have you there for sure. Yeah, it's not top secret. It's basically whoever's gonna join it. I mean, you have to be wanting to join it for the right reason. Like, you want to build projects for your portfolio, and you're really committed to not giving up and getting that web dev job that you want. But it'll definitely become secret when I open Discord, because this is my thought for the Slack channel. It's like I started when I had like 90 subscribers, and some people joined me on Slack that early. And I was like, you know what? This is going to be for my main crew that helped me start to ascend the ladder of success on YouTube. And so I want to keep it special. So what I'm going to do, like maybe when I reach to 2,500 subscribers, I'm going to stop inviting people to Slack and just have a Discord channel for everybody else. But those of you who join me on Slack, it's going to be like the inner circle that is absolutely free and will cost you nothing. It is more for me to kind of say thanks for you guys supporting me when I did not have any traction and did not have any subscribers. And more importantly, we are going to continue to keep building 5 projects for a goddamn portfolio so you guys could get that job or switch your careers, whatever you guys are looking for. Alex, good question. I'm going to be very blunt right now. When I started learning to code, those were excellent projects because I had no idea what I was doing. But at this point, they're not the projects you would put into your portfolio. They're actually, none of them are really good projects for your portfolio. A hiring manager is not going to be like, oh, look at this joke generator. It just told me your mama joke. I don't know how I feel about that. You know, you actually need to build something that, number one, showcases what you do, and also is something that a real user will use. Like that other cat, I keep messing up his name, Spirable said, the soy dude, he said, you want to build something that people will use. You're solving a problem. So like a good example, and this is something Coder Foundry does, amazing channel, check them out. You could find their video called The One Project to Rule Them All. Build a bug tracker. And there's many reasons why this is a good project, because it has enough complexity to it, but it's also not too complex that it's going to take you forever to build. But it basically will show a prospective person who's hiring you that you have the skill that it takes to get the job. And a bug tracker, it's something that every company has. Maybe it's through Azure, maybe it's something in-house that they could relate to and understand and compare to and make a comparison to and be like, yeah, that's a good bug tracker. So that would be a good one. And that's not something that I came up with. It's something that Coder Foundry preach. Definitely check out, look up the video, One Project to Rule Them All. But that would be like the one that I would build as your main project. But the 5 projects that we work at this community, and if you want to join it, email me at codingafter30@gmail.com. We start simple. Number 1, build a HTML and CSS website. Number 2, add functionality to that basic HTML and CSS site with vanilla JavaScript, basic DOM manipulation, like create a pop-up, modal, image slider. Number 3, take that project and create it with React. Number 4, bring your React to the next level by creating an app which consumes an API. It could be using GitHub API, using COVID-19 API or whatever API. And number 5 is equivalent to that bug tracker. Basically, it needs to be complex enough that you're hitting a backend. You don't have to create the backend from scratch yourself. I use Strappy in my case, which is Node.js based. But basically what you should be able to do, you should handle some sort of authentication. You should have users be able to log in, and if the user is authorized, they could add data, delete data. So basically showcasing that you understand how to connect to a database through an API and be able to do CRUD functionality with authentication, meaning that if someone's not authenticated, they shouldn't be able to break stuff. So you should be able to create, read, update, and delete. And that'll be the final project. That's kind of the goal for our Slack channel and what we're doing there. So I hope that answers your question. So guys, smash the like button if you haven't. I just want to say it's amazing to have you guys, coding after 30, code and chat with yours truly. But you know what? Nobody cares about this name. Nobody cares about me. What I care about is you guys. You guys are the reason why this channel exists. You guys are the reason why I'm able to talk here and have fun with you guys. So I just want to say thank you guys for coming out and watching this live stream. We still have a lot to do, but I just want to say it's just you guys are who make this possible. If I didn't have you guys, if this community didn't exist, that would be like, it's like I'm nobody. You guys give me the thing that I am, which is a mirror to reflect the good vibes that you guys give as a community. So I can't thank you guys enough. You know, not that you guys know, I'm just some random dude on YouTube. So thank you for supporting me. I think everyone needs to come up with their own idea. If everyone builds the same thing, how do people differentiate themselves? 100% true. Dude, you're you're on point. And I'm just saying, when you can't come up with something to differentiate yourself, then doing like the bug tracker, it is a good idea. Yes. Yes, thank you. A bug tracker is a good idea. And you could differentiate yourself because you could make a bug tracker that's specific to a particular language that might have certain quirks that, you know, other languages don't. And so you could create these sections in it that are particular dealing with issues for that particular language. I don't know. I'm just like kind of riffing here, but that's what it is. Jeff Barker, thanks for the info. I'm very early into my journey learning HTML and CSS. Jeff, keep it up. You know, HTML and CSS, that's where everybody should start. After that, it's JavaScript, then jumping into React, and then going from there. But you're on the right path. The biggest thing I could say to you is, like I said earlier at the beginning of this live stream, whenever you pick the thing that you're going to do, follow it through to the end until you get a job. I made this mistake for 5 years where I would start C++, you know, Ruby on Rails, Ruby. Let me learn some Python. And I meandered through 3, 4, 5 years and not knowing anything. And it's only when I committed to JavaScript and React that I was able to make stuff happen and see the difference. So whatever path you decide, go through it all the way. Like, the grass is not greener on the other side. A lot of people, they have the shiny syndrome, where they just see some shining and they're like, oh yeah, I got to do that. Like, Jane is doing it, I should do it. You know, I don't want to tell you the things Jane is doing. You know what? But the point is, it's like, trust your judgment. And it's hard to go wrong if you look up the 5 top languages of 2021 and then the frameworks that go around. And then also look in your area, what are people hiring for, and just pick one of those. Don't pick 5, don't pick 4, don't pick 3, pick one and stick to it, and that until you get your job. That's something that's going to really help you get to where you need to go. What's the difference between working from home to working at your company? Well, in my company, besides being micromanaged to death, I think that would be it. I think the benefits of working from home is that you don't have to commute. Like, so if you live far away and it takes you 45 minutes to go to work and 45 minutes back, that's an hour and a half you're saving by not commuting. And I would say that's one big benefit for me, is that I hate commutes. A long time ago, I used to commute to Boston from Connecticut when I lived back here. 3 days a week, driving for an hour and a half for a goddamn job that I loved. And it was a pain. And so for me, that's the biggest benefit. Another reason working from home, let's say your family members live in a different place in the state, but the job that you have is, let's say, in California, you're able to stay with your family and not have to uplift everybody, especially if you have kids that are going to school and move to another state. So those are the two benefits, like freedom to work from anywhere and not commuting. If those were not benefits that were important to me, I would love to go to work because I love socializing with people. I love seeing people face to face and talking to them like I'm talking to you guys. So, hey, what's up? Good to see you. Made it to the stream. Do you often use a CSS framework at work? Well, currently we work with React, and so we use two different things. We use Material UI and we use styled components. So those are the two things we're using. For my personal projects, I really like using Sass. And I've been experimenting with Tailwind, I like. And for a few projects, I use Bootstrap. My favorite, though, right now is using Tailwind. And I'm still not sure how I feel, but it's still, like, it's weird. But I like it. It's like one of those things you're like, I don't know if I should like this. There's something weird about this thing, but pleasantly, works well. I also like style components and CSS modules. But it basically, the way that works is like wherever you're working, whatever they decide the project's going to build with, that's what you're going to be using. But yes, we do use those. Short answer. Web Dev Junkie, I did 1 hour commute before. Let's just say I quit after. Bro. Yeah. Driving for an hour or more, even 45 minutes, it's not good. Not good for, like, especially if you're stuck in traffic. Being stuck in traffic is not good for your soul, your health, and probably safety of other people. So, yeah, I mean, damn, son. 1 hour commute, that's rough. And so, yeah, and that's like the benefit of remote. You don't have to do any of that stuff. And honestly, if my job is so far away that like they better be paying me a lot of money to drive for an hour or hour and a half, or if I live somewhere where there's no opportunity and I'm just starting out. But once you get in the groove, make it, like I would definitely try to find things that benefit your lifestyle, whatever that may be. So for me, it's not driving. So guys, anyway, this is about, should you learn React for web development? Is it necessary? It's not just about that. But here's an article I found I'll share with you guys. And this is also interesting. And I would love to actually hear from someone who knows more about this than I do. But here's the article. Top front-end frameworks for 2021. And then this guy is saying Svelte is Svelte, I can't pronounce these very well. Surprising serious contender. So I have zero experience with Svelte, and I am actually curious about what some of you guys who are already in the development field and maybe had some experience with it or just been around enough, kind of know your opinion about it. And honestly, if I've seen a job posting and they reached out to me and they were building stuff with Svelte and I did not know Svelte, and so I didn't apply for it. And so, yeah, it's good. And again, it's a JavaScript framework, like all of these. So I'm curious to learn more about it and kind of know like what your thoughts are on it. So let me know if you guys heard or tried it. I haven't, but I'll come back to Svelte in just a second. Some people say it's a fad. Some people say it's here to stay. We will see. Now, obviously, React. Who could argue? React number one. Come on. It's what it is. As well, is it the only thing? No. But I was able to get a job because I knew React. If I only knew HTML, CSS, and JavaScript, I think my chances of getting hired would be very difficult. So, short answer is like, yes, you should know React as a framework. But the big answer is no, and I'll tell you why in a second. You could see this article, just Google top 5, JavaScript frameworks 2029. Vue is another one that's coming up close second. I also didn't try Vue, but I know there's a lot of people that were able to get jobs with Vue.js and can't go wrong. So if you're not doing React and you're not doing Svelte, you're probably doing Angular. But if you're not doing Angular, you're doing Vue. I mean, a lot of people don't like Angular, but there's plenty of jobs. In certain areas, there's more Angular jobs, especially in other countries, than React jobs. It's super popular still. And so, yeah. So do you need to know React for web development? And the answer is no, because there's obviously Angular, there's obviously Vue, and there's Svelte. That's a tough one to say for me. So no, you don't need to know React as a framework, but you do need to know a framework that's going to make you more effective and efficient at your job creating big applications. Because the truth is, the reasons those frameworks exist is because they save time and allow you to create things just much faster in a more organized way than just with HTML, CSS, and straight up vanilla JS. Now, the reason why do you need, it's a no for me, because this is the argument I'm going to make. Let's say that something happens and Svelte falls out of love. Nobody starts using React because React starts to suck now. And then let's say Vue, something happens, not popular anymore, and Angular doesn't work. And somebody comes up with some weird framework in JavaScript called Squirrel framework, whatever it is. So the point is, whatever next big thing is going to be, you should know enough JavaScript and be confident enough with the language that whatever new uppity framework comes out, you're able to learn and become effective with it as quickly as possible. And I'm going to tell you this story before I jump to the comment section to take a look at it. Is this. I work at a place which has a lot of old school, like all over, like older 55 and up, 60s even, closer to retirement, C++ developers. Because most of their life they spent building things with C++. Their understanding of programming, and I'm not saying you guys learn C++. Do not think that's what I'm saying. What I'm saying is that once you understand the basic of programming, and here's the thing, they're not web developers, they're Windows C++ developers. But because they know one programming language well, they were told to learn JavaScript, which they did, and it was very easy going from C++ to JavaScript, except they hate JavaScript for whatever reason. I don't know. JavaScript is amazing. And after they learned React, they were able to learn after they learned JavaScript, they were able to learn React within a couple of months. So within a couple of months, they became proficient and started being productive with React development. Think about that. So at the end of the day, frameworks will come and go. Right now, React is important, and if you're still looking for a job, you cannot go wrong by learning React. But the point is, once you pick one language like JavaScript, and you understand it well, and you constantly focus on becoming a better programmer, whatever the next framework is, you're going to be able to pick it up and learn it. And this is something that a lot of people will say, listen, I've done some React, I tried Angular, then I went to Vue, then I tried Svelte. I didn't try Svelte or Vue yet, but I tried Angular. And it's not that impossible of a switch to make and become productive fast. Why? Because you have experience as a programmer. And that's something that you guys all should remember and not forget. But to answer your question, yes for React, no for React. No for anything. Yes for just becoming a better programmer because this is something you enjoy and love, and that no matter what comes out in the future, you'll be able to get to what you need to do. Web Dev Junkie, Svelte is nice. I switched to it if people hired for it. And that's exactly the you got to let the market decide. Whatever new thing comes out, if there's demand in the market to a point where someone switching to it could jump in and get a job, that's when you switch to it, right? You don't have to be like the super early adapter. You know what I mean? You got to follow the money. And that's what a lot of people have to understand, is that you want to be as hireable as possible. So whatever the current thing is that's popular, that's what you should be doing and learning. And this comes back to my example of just becoming a better programmer in general. This is something that I'm striving, I don't think I'm there yet, but striving to do, is that who cares what framework is? Whatever the next big thing is that people are hiring and willing to pay money for, I am going to learn that thing. And if you have good foundation and good fundamentals, it's going to be very easy to learn those things. And if you are learning new things, check out Web Devs Junkie's channel. He has a bunch of great tutorials. So just want to throw that out there. And that's another great point. Learn a framework when you see firsthand how tedious it is to make a medium-sized application using Vanilla.js. 100%. And I did not make a medium-sized application, but I did my random Kanye quote generator. I did it with JavaScript, vanilla, and then I did it with React. And my vanilla JavaScript app had like 150 lines of code for whatever reason. And my React application only had 50 lines of code. And my vanilla JavaScript took me like half an hour to make for whatever reason, but my React application took me 3 minutes to make. And so there's a lot of value using React because it does save time, and the experience building views in React is way better than vanilla JavaScript. Like if you learn vanilla JavaScript and then you do React, you're gonna be like amazed, like with yourself, like wow, why is React so much easier? But with that being said, you should not stop learning JavaScript, the language, and being able to understand it on a deeper level and knowing and its quirks, and not even programming in JavaScript, but just becoming better at programming concepts in general, because all languages share 80% of things that you find in them. Hey guys, by the way, like I'm always amazed like how many people like show up and jump in on these live streams. Sometimes it's quiet, sometimes it's not quiet. Sometimes you have plenty of you guys around. But what I want to say is that no matter how many people we come in, the whole point is that I just amazed by your positivity, your feedback, all the awesome questions, because ultimately I want this to be a community for all of us to just ultimately reach our goal. And I am some random guy online, and if it wasn't for you guys, this YouTube channel, this community would not exist. So I just want to thank you and send a lot of love to you guys. It's always awesome, always amazing to see you guys. And so I'm looking at the time. We've been at this for almost an hour, or already an hour and 15 minutes. So I'm going to do another 15 minutes. Let's do some rapid fire questions. No question is off limit. It's going to be the after hours 15 minutes of most ridiculous questions you could ask. Before we go, if you have any last parting wisdoms or any questions that you guys want to add, let me know in the comments. We'll go through them, answer them, and go from there. Yeah, it's 1:14 a.m. here. Like I'm in the New York area. Yeah, but I'm originally from here, but I moved to Austin, Texas, and so that's my home now. I love Austin. I love the weather, especially when it doesn't snow like it did this year, which I luckily missed because I was in Connecticut getting snowed on. But yeah. Boy Wonder, thank you for being here. Thank you for being awesome, because you know you got to be awesome to join these live streams of this random ridiculous guy. I think like a lot of guys watch this video to like just see like what is going to happen today. Is his head going to explode? Because I don't really know like how much valuable content I offer, but I appreciate all of your support. Already, yep. What is your favorite Thai food? Mine is Tom Yum. Tom Yum is amazing. I love Tom Yum soup. And I also like Pad See Ew. Pad See Ew is amazing. It's like drunken noodles, in my opinion, but better. I go between drunken noodles. But when I went to Thailand and I asked for drunken noodles, they look at me like I was an idiot. But they have Pad See Ew and obviously Pad Thai. But Pad See Ew is my favorite by none. I love it. It's the greatest. Every time I go to Thailand, I eat so much Thai food. It's amazing. And it's also nice there. But I love all types of food, you know, and all my relationships been with people that have like amazing cuisines, which is like funny. Like I remember I was with someone who was Italian, used to come home to that Italian homemade cooking, mostly when the mother-in-law would cook. We weren't married, but you know, that traditional old school Italian cooking, amazing, amazing. Then I was married. When I was married once. Had a sad divorce, but it happens. But she was Mexican, and I love carne asada in Mexico is amazing. And so that's like my favorite food. And now like I found my true love, Thai cuisine, and my fiance it's either like I'm gonna die or I'm gonna spend the rest of my life with her at this point. But Thai cuisine is amazing, and I love spicy food. So for me, it makes perfect time. Man, how much would you sell when you first got your first job? Like, so not talking about my freelancing work, where I made more. Not talking about my WordPress developer stuff that was, I didn't call my real programming job because I basically just put in content into WordPress sites and then use the WordPress page builder and maybe some light CSS. I made more money. My real programming job literally paid as much as working at a supermarket. And I don't know, maybe I could have got a job that paid more. And some people will be like, why did you even take that job? I know, why did I take that job? That's a great question. Because, and my point, I was 39 years old. I don't have a college degree in CSS. And to me, the most important part was to get a job so I could build experience on my resume. So I'm actually getting paid by experience. And not everybody could do it because it's very hard to live when you're making low income. But luckily, I scaled my life down and had some money saved, and and so it was fine. But when you get your first job, don't think about the pay. I mean, you should think about the pay. Don't be like me. Don't be an idiot like me. You need to be able to pay your bills. But more importantly, take what you get offered and work there for 6 months and then get another job that will pay more money. Like the job that I make now, that I started, pays nothing. But the job that I'm starting, already started this week, pays 3 times as more. And so how was I able to get that? Well, because I built my experience working for peanuts. But everybody has a different tolerance risk, and you have to decide what's it for you. When I came back from Thailand, I was in Thailand for 3 months. I came back, the pandemic started to really pick up. And so I was like, shit, if I don't get a job right now, I'm going to be in trouble because they already started talking about people not being able to work like outside. And so first job that I got, I went, did that interview. They said, you're hired. I'm like, I'll take it. Why? Because I knew that if pandemic got any worse, which it did, I would have opportunity to work remotely. And so in that case, I was like, you know what? I much rather have this job where I'm actually going to work, where once things picked up with the pandemic, I know a lot of people lost their jobs. So for me, even though the pay was terrible, the convenience of working from home and the experience that I got far outweighs the cost. But that's something you guys have to take into account for yourself. Yeah, so yeah, it is the way it is. It's not easy. Part of it was also I had severe imposter syndrome. I felt like I don't know enough. And I just have all around low confidence. I was like, maybe this is not for me. Because coding and learning to code is really difficult. And so it's tough. And it's very easy to quit just because you sometimes feel like everything is stacked against you. But don't give up. Keep going. And you'll be able to do it. The most important part is to be vigilant and keep moving forward. So, let's see. Yo, Taiwan is amazing. Taiwan cooking is also amazing. I went to Taiwan with my fiance when I was in Thailand. We went to Taiwan, stayed there for 3 weeks. We also went to that big tower Taipei Tower, I think. It was amazing. Took some good photos. They made these bread dumplings with, I want to say, pork and little green onions. They have this kiln made out of brick. And they put it to the side of the wall, the little dumplings. And they cook it with a flame of fire. And when they come out, you eat it right away. It's super hot. Let me know if you had that because I want to know what they're called. They don't have that in US. To me, to go back to Taiwan and eat those dumpling things, bread things again, is something that I want to do 100%. Taiwan is beautiful. If I were there's a couple of countries if I could work remote from anywhere, where would I live? Taiwan is definitely one of them. Seoul, Korea is another one. But there's lots of great places to live. But man, Taiwan is amazing. I definitely want to go back. If I ever go back there, I'll definitely would love to hit you up. North America, hello. North America is amazing. Hello. I love Europe and North America. Hello. Yes, I gotta like be like more attuned to people having long ass names in their names. I love Europe and North America. Hello, hello. I'm like, which part is the name, and which part is the text? You know, people like, we thought this guy was smart. He's not that smart. Yeah, I'm not that smart. But listen, shows your portfolio which helped you land your first job. I did show some of the projects. I actually did really, really good on the interview because I was prepared. Um, yeah, there's a great video I did. I love Europe and North America with Hamza, where we talk about what you need to build in order to get your job. And also, we talked about this before, like, depending on where you live, you might have very difficult time finding a job because, you know, places like India are very competitive and it could be difficult. I don't know where this particular individual lives, but, you know, it's not easy. It's hard. What I'm going to say to you, though, is this. It's like, if you don't make it your business to go after it, let me just tell you another story of what I did. I started learning to code. I was like, I will never get a job, but I'm not going to quit. So while learning to code, I started telling everybody I see that I could build them a website with WordPress. And I was telling everybody I knew, my mom's neighbors, their neighbors. And I talked to so many people that I actually started getting side gigs for like $100 here, $120 there, setting up basic WordPress websites, which are super easy to do. And so I made it a goal, like, listen, if no one's going to hire me, I'm going to start my own goddamn company. I actually learned Facebook ads, and I would offer Facebook ad services to people. And yes, it's not coding. But the point was, like, while not quitting to code, I also had this idea, if no one's going to hire me, I'm going to make my own goddamn company and work there. And that wasn't my intended goal, but I kind of played a game. It's like, am I going to get hired first, or am I going to succeed in my side hustle business endeavor? And then I got my job, you know. And so the point is, it's like, people are going to hate me for this, but it's like, how bad do you want the thing that you want? What price are you willing to pay for it? Because if you don't have, like, I'm 40 years old. I may be stupid. I may made mistakes in my life. But one thing that I know for a fact is that all the things that I did not accomplish and did not achieve in my life were my fault. My fault for not putting in the extra work. My fault for not staying in school. My fault for not taking things seriously. My fault for not going that extra mile. So for me, if someone really wants to get hired, they will do the work of what it takes. And they won't even watch my videos. They will just have, like, I have this guy, Frank. He's not on this stream. He's in a Slack channel. Every time I talk to him, he's coding. He's doing stuff. He's applying. He couldn't get a coding job, so he got next best thing. He got a job in IT with the idea that within the company, he's hoping there's going to be software engineer roles available, and he's going to apply to those. So listen, if this is something that you really want to do and not just talk about it, then do it. But that's kind of like where I stand with my mental state and process of how things done. Dude, I love Europe. This is the biggest garbage I ever heard before. Facebook ads are so easy. I just don't fucking like doing it. And yes, you could make a lot of money doing Facebook ads, but it is dumb and boring as hell. Like, if you look at my LinkedIn profile, I worked for a marketing agency, and part of it was managing ad campaigns. And I was actually pretty good at that. I created nice ads. I knew what I was doing. But it's boring for me. I don't like it. It doesn't engage me like coding does. So I prefer coding. And in my opinion, coding is way more difficult than any Facebook ads stuff is. Like coding is really hard. If you suck at coding, go do Facebook ads. Yes, you will make more money. But I don't code because it's easy. I code because it's hard. Wait, is that from a movie? I don't even know. But yeah, that's my comment for about Facebook ads. Balls deep stuff. Yes. Probably like a whole fist and a foot and a half deep. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, no, listen. I'm 40 years old. I'm a grown-ass man. Listen, you could comment me the way you want. You guys some questions. One thing that I know is life and how hard it is. And the reason I don't talk about it because I don't have to tell you guys how hard life is. Because everybody that is here had some sort of thing that they had to deal with. Some sort of thing that whooped their butt, beat them into the pulp, that they still haven't recovered from. You know, I don't have to tell you that about life. But I'm going to say, though, if something's not working out in your life, it's either you're really on the downward on your luck, which sometimes happens, very rarely. But deep down, like, I know I messed up in my life, and the times that I did, I earned it. I did it to myself. Same thing if I don't get the next opportunity, I didn't get it because I didn't do the work. I didn't push myself. So, like, for me to, like, sugarcoat things for you guys, especially when it comes about, like, stuff like that, like, I can't do it. I'm not going to do it. Are you serious? Yeah, you know, listen. Creative with Code. Hey, good to see you. Yeah, that interview with Hamza was great. Hamza is also on Slack. Creating with Code is on our Slack. By the way, yeah, if you haven't seen the interview I did with Hamza, check it out. A lot of great value there. A lot of good tips. Actually, if you were to watch the next video after this, go watch that one. It is really good. It's full of nice little wisdoms that you could follow. And listen, getting a web dev job is an individual journey. It's not like a cookie-cutter approach that anybody could apply and do whatever. If you are too busy, like, complaining, you're not doing enough. Like, get out there. Do more stuff. Talk to more people. Man, look at me. I'm getting all hyped up. The stress. The renting. Anyway, I'm back to normal. Back to normal. Back to reality, Paul. Come back off your rant. I love Europe and North America. Coding is boring as AF. Is that like for Ben Affleck? I don't know these AF. No, I know what AS something. Do it just for the love of money. Bro, don't do coding for the love of money. You just told me making money on Facebook is easier and make more money. Unless I read your quote wrong. But listen, yeah, whatever. Do whatever. If you want to do something for the money, do OnlyFans. You'll make bank. And if someone says, nah, that's a job only for girls, let me tell you. If you do OnlyFans and you're a dude, there's a market for... I could be eating cheeseburgers naked and make more money a year than I would coding. I do it because I love it. Money is good, but it's not as good as OnlyFans and eating cheeseburgers while naked. I'm just going to tell you that right now. That's bank. Anyway, again, listen, we're at the tail end of the stream. I don't drink. I got this coffee, but I want to have some fun, you know? Smash the like button if you think this is fun. Or don't smash the like, the negative smash button. Yeah, maybe, yeah, if my coding career fails, I'm going to maybe do some stand-up. Maybe there's going to be a happy hour with Coding After 30, the guy who never was able to land a job at coding. Listen, but I appreciate all of you guys here. I love having you guys here. I love having these chats with you guys. It is amazing. Amazing good times. So this is fun. I love Europe. Know what makes you stay dedicated to your job without losing your brains. Yeah, that's true. Like, yeah. I mean, money is good. You know what it is. Keep going. Yeah. If you get me going, I won't stop. That's actually like the con of this channel is like, don't get me going because I'm going to break YouTube. Like, that's how it is. Yo, Liz, seriously. I'm not even kidding. Imagine that. Like, I wanted to do that on an experiment. Like, would somebody pay money to see a half-naked 40-year-old dude eating cheeseburgers from McDonald's, no less? And I think they would, and yeah, like seriously. But yeah, no, like I'm not saying there's something evil in pursuing money, because there isn't. But if you look at Elon Musk, he doesn't do it for the money, but he has a lot of it. Because anybody who that he doesn't wake up like, oh, how much money am I gonna make today? Dude, that dude lost like $7 billion in like one day and then made it back the next day. Warren Buffett, he doesn't wake up like, he wears like dirty ass sweaters. Billionaire. He doesn't care about money. He loves what he does. He loves the challenge of his job, the pursuit of like the thing that he does. That's why he does it. You know what I mean? OnlyFans probably do it for the money because it's easy. But like everybody that codes, unless they've been coding for like 20, 30 years and they're bored of it already because they're ready to retire, and even if they complain about it, they do it because they love it. I spent time with Logic Indie doing JavaScript game making stuff because for me it's fun. I love it. Look how excited I am talking about coding and helping you guys get a job. It's because you gotta have some love to follow the money. Just doing something for the money, there's a profession for that. I forgot what it's called. It starts with a P and something is astute. I'm a very astute learner of this stuff. Bro, Bezos do it for the money. He's not the richest man on earth, by the way. And he did not... Oh my God, did you even research Bezos with him sitting at his damn desk with a hand-drawn Amazon poster, already no hair, looking like a, sad baby, pasty as hell because he didn't sleep for 3 days? He didn't do it for the money. Like, watch any of his interviews. He's making a lot of money, but the love of money is not what got him there. Jesus Christ. I love you. I love Europe, North America, because you get me engaged in great conversations. Listen, it's like, you know what? If you guys are so excited about this, I'm like trying to come up with ways. How could I monetize my channel? Like Logan Paul had that fight with whoever, whatever, that RX-7, whatever the guy's name was, I don't even know, and he's want to fight Mayweather. I will fight in a sanction. By the way, I don't want to do illegal fighting, but if anybody wants to do a Coding 30 boxing match, let me know. It'll be amazing. I'm willing to do it. We could discuss stuff in between rounds. It'll be amazing. Yeah, when you feel coding is boring, try solving coding challenges or make a game. 100%. But you know why someone wouldn't do that, Logic Indie? Because now I'm all hot on fire. It's because they don't like it. They don't they don't want to do coding. They just want to see the paycheck at the end of the day, which is good. It's fine. But it saddens me. It saddens me inside. It saddens me inside to know that someone would just learn something that they don't like for money. Because you could earn money by doing something you do like. OnlyFans / naked hamburgers. Logic. Bro, don't be picking on Logic Indie. Coding is only fun for people who never did anything in life. For me, bro, you're not doing any girls or hang out with friends or traveling beautiful nations. Because if you have time to show up on my stream and add your 2 cents, you're not doing anything. Because this is prime time to be doing all those things you're doing. Right now, you're probably in front of your computer talking to me. How sad is your life, bro? Listen, man, I'm ready. Won't highlight the channel boxing match. It'll be amazing. Listen, effing girls is I'm 40 years old, bro. I have to come back to this. Done it, been there, got the prize for it. Everything you just mentioned will leave you lonely and soulless if that's what you think is the most important thing to pursue in your life. You will. And how do I know this? Because one day I woke up, truth, looked to my left, saw a girl that I didn't know until last night, my 10-day bender doing something like that. And I just wanted to, and I was just like, what are you doing with your life? What are you doing? Like, I just got disgusted with myself. And then, like, you realize life is not about the meaningless nonsense. It's about pursuing a real purpose where you actually create some sort of value that you give back to the community and everybody around you. You know what I'm saying? That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. Yeah, he's a wise guy that never had sex. Some lead code's problems found. Yeah, lead code? Yeah, 100%. I'll be honest with you, Electric. Thank you for bringing it back to reality. And what this channel is really about is coding. Is I think lead code is good, like when you're like actually not like you've done some coding, you have some experience. For me, lead code is kind of challenging. I'm not gonna lie to you. So I've been focusing on code wars, but my goal is to eventually build myself up to use lead code problems. But yeah, 100%. Yeah, like the woman I'm with now, like if you're soulmates, or I'm gonna like little that does us apart. Like I'll get married. I got the engagement ring right here. We got engaged in Korea. Amazing time. Yeah, I'm gonna get married. Because like listen, I'm 40 years old. Been there, done that, and like there's more to life than nonsense. And sometimes you just want to be around like good people, you know. And yeah, I'm gonna get married. Is everything guaranteed? Who knows? I could die tomorrow. She could die tomorrow. We could fall out of love. But the point is, I'm willing to commit because, like, it's important to me. Look at this. We're taking this show to a different level. But yeah, short answer. Red Pill 101. Listen, I need excitement in my life. So I'm taking like 3 of those. But then also to counter the fact of that, I'm taking a bunch of blue pills. Yeah, so the reason I'm marrying her, not because of what the establishment wants me to do. It's like a personal, like we don't have to get married. I'm just choosing to do it for a bunch of other reasons. But listen, you don't chase girls because you want to chase girls. You find a woman to complement your life. And I'm not saying chasing women is wrong. We all do it at a certain point. But then at some point, we have to grow up. One of my friends, he says to me, it's like nobody wants to die alone. And sometimes what happens, you know, some people get away. If you have money, fame, you just don't give a F. And you don't, like, but, like, to me, like, being surrounded by cool people, like, actually having conversations about stuff. And, you know, it's like I don't even want to talk about, like, let's bring it back. Let's bring it back. But yeah, losing my track. I got a lot of advice. I totally know what's up though. I know what's up. How long till we get married, or how long is like, you know, it depends. You know, we might have kids first. I don't know. Maybe we won't get married, but like we are engaged, and I will marry her if she wants to. But like. Our relationship is not like we don't have anything set in stone in terms of like, you know, we have to get married by this deadline or not. Like I'm gonna marry. If she says let's marry tomorrow, I'll marry her tomorrow. She's a wonderful woman. I can't be any happier. We are soulmates, and I love her, you know, at so many different levels. And once just so like to me, it's fine. It's not a deal breaker. Like oh by the way. You know, everybody's like, oh, you know, red pill, blue pill, women are bad, they're going to take your money. Probably true 100% of the time. But it also depends, like, does the person you're with shares the same values as you? And are they from, like, for instance, like, she's an immigrant, I'm an immigrant, and we're married, like we vibe at that level, right? Because we're relatable. I can't relate to American girls because even though I've been here forever, I can't, like, mentally like understand what it's like. And so like for me, like I had to find someone who's another immigrant like me to make it happen. And you just got to find someone that like, you know, love and like whatever. Listen, another dumbest comment I ever heard. I make. You mean you can't do it off your lugs and your wit and your sense of humor? I don't. I've been broke in like. Listen, I stopped chasing girls way before I started to code. Maybe it's the face. Maybe it's the sense of humor. But like, I don't know who you're flexing here. This is the wrong channel to flex. Flex, like, my God, like, that's hilarious to me. Keep them coming. I'm having fun. I'm having fun. It's amazing. Paulie is a whip. That's why he's getting married, bro. Like, I don't need, like, I mean, are you saying that I'm whipped? That's why I'm getting married, or some other, like, listen. I don't even want to have this whole life discussion. It seems this channel is going to be all about that. But I don't even know where I'm going with this. Listen, you do what you want because it makes you happy and be the person that you want. Some people do coke. Some people like, you know, jump off buildings and parachute. I lived a long life and I'm 40 years old. And the fact that I'm still alive, I'm like, oh, I made it. I passed the great filter. Let's settle down. Been married with a new Miss Polly. Yeah. Listen, people don't understand, like, I switched careers from MMA and Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. That's what I've been doing for, like, many, many years. So, yeah, I'm down. MMA. I don't need, yeah, listen, easy. I will do it. Obviously, it's got to be a sanctioned amateur match because we don't want to break any laws. But I'll do it. It'll be fun. I'm not even, like, people think I'm joking about it. I have like a training montage one day I'll have to show it to you. It's hilarious. Yeah, TypeScript is definitely a good long-term investment. Before in React, we used to use prop types. Now you just write React with TypeScript. It's actually the transition that I'm currently making right now. I'm not the best at TypeScript, but you're absolutely right. If you learn JavaScript, build a bunch of React projects, the TypeScript is your natural path to go, and you should definitely do it. And so, yeah, definitely TypeScript is good. 100%. Listen, like, this channel is about coding, so I really love the comments the guys leaving. I love engaging. Oh God, I love engaging with like people like that because it gives me my power, my superpower. You know, I'm a professional talker by trade at my other job, but I do want to get back and talk about coding stuff. But I know we've been kicking it for a while, so like let's do like another 5-10 minutes. I'm like kicking stuff with my feet here. And yeah, listen, if you guys looking at this content, you're like, man, Paul like lost his mind. He's getting crazy. It's because it's almost 2 a.m. where I am, and we have like 1 hour and a half I could do normal stuff. But the last 15, 20 minutes got to be ridiculous stuff because we got to have fun. We got to kill it. We got to do it. Yeah. But yeah, anyway. But all joking aside, and I'm sure like I love Europe and North America is, you know, half serious, half joking. But the truth is, it's like you gotta find what works for you, and just do it. You know, like there's no sense for you to tell others what you're doing. No sense of like complaining about it. No sense about trying to flex because no one cares. You know what I mean? It's like, and so just do the work. Keep your, you know, pursue the things that make you happy, and that's the way it is. That's the way things go. But yeah, TypeScript is great and it helps reduce quality code, but I still enjoy the Untitled Chapter. 100%. Listen, I do C#. I don't need like another type language, but I definitely see the value of TypeScript and React. but I don't like it unless I'm like, if people like, I mean, I get it, but I love JavaScript because of JavaScript. You don't need to fix JavaScript. JavaScript works perfectly fine the way it is. And like I said, TypeScript does make sense because a lot of people are adopting it and using it with React, especially with VS Code that allows you to just such a great coding experience. So definitely that's where things are going. And if you're learning React and JavaScript, like you'll definitely will have to, learn TypeScript. I think there's plenty of companies that are making that shift, especially like you don't have to convert your whole project into TypeScript. But yeah, I love JavaScript because it's JavaScript. And, if I want something super typed, I got C#. I liked Ruby on Rails. It's just that was 8 years ago when I liked it. And now, and I didn't think the language was horrible, but maybe I'm not remembering correctly. But I wouldn't do it now. And like, I'm assuming it's part of a class. That's why you have no choice what you're doing. But yeah, definitely a lot of people like fell out of love with Ruby on Rails. But, and so like if I was starting new, I wouldn't learn it at all anymore. Bro, Web Dev Junkie, you know what's up. That's how I get my hours at my work. Was fixing a bug. What was the issue? I didn't know. It took me a while to find it. Don't tell my boss if we use TypeScript, we wouldn't have this issue. Yeah, no, but like, yeah, 100% true. It's true. But I still love JavaScript. TypeScript though, you do but again, a lot of like newer courses that I saw with React, a lot of people using TypeScript with it exactly for that reason, and so they don't have to use prop types. So this is amazing. Listen, coding phase, I just have to reply to that. The dude is an entrepreneur. He knows how to make money. Is he chasing, like, he's got a wife and kids right now. And he's only agreeing with you because he wants you to feel happy about yourself, so you stick with his stream and like it more, what have you. I love coding phase, but I also know how he is as a person. But look, I haven't been agreeing with you, and you're still sticking with my streams. So that's also amazing. So see, it's a win-win. I'm applying for my first job. I'm decent with React and PHP. Would that be good enough? Yeah, just start applying, because it's hard to tell. Like, start applying, see what you get. Like, so what I tell people, when you start applying for jobs, basically, if you're not getting the jobs, before you leave, ask him why, or at least figure out, like, why did I not get this job, and start kind of tweaking the things you're doing. But if you're like I got my job with React only and JavaScript. I didn't know any backend languages at the time when I applied. So it's a bonus that you know PHP. Now, are there like, I'd be curious, have you made like backend with PHP and hooked up your React front-end application too? I think that'll be cool to do. Not very common, but pretty cool. What's also interesting, obviously, WordPress is written PHP, but you could now create a backend WordPress site, and then you could via REST WordPress API or WP GraphQL connect to your React app. I think that's pretty awesome. I think that would be really cool to do. Yeah, that's true. Yeah. Is it wrong to think that logical mindset you need in programming is good only if you were good in math? So you don't have to be good at math at school. And I'm not sure if I'm getting your questions right, but you should have a logical mind. Like, everybody's minds are different, and maybe like I'm attracted to coding because I'm like, that's how I think. Like, I always have arguments with my sister because I think of things very like logically, where she thinks about things emotionally. And so you do have to, I feel like, kind of understand. Do you have to be a math whiz for web development? No. You need to know way more math if you're doing game development, or if you're doing obviously data science and like stuff like that. You need a lot of more math, and there's a field for whatever level of math you're in. But I do for fun. I subscribe to Brilliant, just to go over different math, and like, cause I just like studying all that for fun. But I think you need to have like a very like logic-oriented mind to do it. Hold on, I gotta give this guy some love. Well, if Coding Phase is a legend, which he is, I do watch his content, marry him, you know? Hey, Paulie, since the whole COVID thing, what are your plan B for job if you were to lose your current one? Be unemployed. Sounds crazy. Basically get a new job. Like, I would just get another job. Would it be easy? No, because like still don't feel like super confident, but I know the right things I need to do. And the Hamza interview I did, check out that interview if you guys didn't see it. It's my last video I posted on YouTube. He actually gave me some good feedback, so I'm pretty confident I'll be able to get another job. But if I do get fired and don't get a job, like, my plan would be to ride the unemployment and go like study and build up my portfolio and keep applying throughout the whole time if I can't get hired. Luckily though, I already got a side contract role going, so I'm kind of excited for that. It's great. But yeah, if I didn't have that and didn't have a job, I would just basically collect unemployment and study and build my portfolio. Yeah, so creating with code. I heard about IDE called WebStorm today. Has anyone? I used that IDE. I don't think it's not free. You do have to pay for it. And with how amazing VS Code is, you don't really need it. My friend actually, who's a senior developer, he used to love WebStorm. He used it all the time. And once VS Code came out, he just started using it. It's just like so good that you won't want to use anything else. But yeah, it's good. I would just learn VS Code. At my job, we use VS Code for front-end stuff. No need to add additional stuff to, to learn when you don't have to. Yeah, 100%. OnlyFans and hamburgers is going to happen. True fan right here. Man, what I like about WebDub Junkie is that he's an actual programmer. He has an actual programming YouTube channel where he actually does tutorials, and he's been here for past half an hour watching the debauchery and still here. I appreciate you, my friend. Thank you for the support and love, because I know yeah, it's awesome. Thank you. Thanks for the stream, man. Yeah, got to drop off. I'm about to finish too. It was fun. Glad to have you here, and I love your content. Keep posting stuff. I do learn stuff from your tutorials, so it's awesome. Man, what's up? I don't know if you just missed the 45 minutes of complete insanity, but thank you for bringing us back. I think WordPress for freelance is really good. It's because it's very easy, So even now, I was considering actually Q asked the question, what do I do if I lost my job? I would basically try to find people and build WordPress sites for them. It's super easy. It's kind of in development, and you don't need to know enough or a lot of stuff to be able to get stuff for small businesses. Actually, there's plenty of local businesses around. Wahid was actually telling me, the linguist was telling me that you could literally email dentist offices, and someone might have crappy sites, and you could just set up a better WordPress site. And for those, for small business, you could charge $1,500 for a website, simple one. It's super easy. Oh my God, yeah! If you watch the live stream on rewatch, you're gonna be wondering a lot of things about this channel. I'm just gonna say, we did take it to that whole new level, but it was really fun. You're gonna laugh your butt off, and I think I'm gonna have to, for this live stream, make smaller live streams of just the crazy stuff that we went through. But yeah, I get it. Hey, Creating with Code, thanks for jumping in. Thanks for the stream, Paul. Always good fun. Peace. Hey, thanks for being here. And I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all of you guys. Look, I appreciate everybody who's able to come in here and be part of this amazing discussion and participate. So thank you guys. And yes, it is that, I said I was going to stop half an hour ago before I went on that crazy rant for half an hour. Thank you. I love Europe and North America. You're amazing. I would love to see where I'm hating on you because you're showing love to Coding Phase. I love Coding Phase probably more than you. And by the way, did you take Coding Phase courses that he sells on his website? Probably not. I paid for his monthly subscription, so I'm probably more of a fan of Coding Phase myself. You know what? I had a conversation with Coding Phase. Did you have a conversation with Coding Phase? All right, enough. This is hilarious. But yeah, no, Coding Phase is good. He has a different market that he hits. He's a straight up entrepreneur, and he sells himself a certain way. But when you talk to him in real life, you actually see how smart he is and what all about business. And he has a lot of people that probably will never become web developers who watch the show because he's just super entertaining. But then he also does a lot of great value and content for people that are serious about doing all this stuff. All right. Thank you, Q. I appreciate you. That's all I'm going to say. So back on WordPress, for freelancing is really good. So if I lost my job, that's what I would do, is to go and do WordPress stuff while still coding and looking to get a job. And since it's the end of the stream, I can't keep a serious conversation. So thank you for bearing with me with all the craziness that we had going on. But, I just want to say, guys, thank you so much. Bro, let me get back to my boy here. I love Europe and North America. Listen, thank you for checking out the stream too. It's a lot of fun. On the internet, on YouTube, you got to have fun. And I appreciate you coming in here and having fun with us. And at the end of the day, it's fine to have fun. But at some point, you got to understand that there's a difference between talking and walking the talk. And so I don't know where anybody is in their lives, but the only thing that I could recommend for everybody, and you don't have to listen to me, but live your life and do what you want to do and work on building better communities rather than creating situations where you're creating drama and talking nonsense. Yeah, I get it. Nonsense sells, and I could be pretty entertaining when I want to. You know what I mean? And I get it, playing to the public and putting on a show. I get all that stuff. But sometimes you just have to be serious, and you have to do the things that you say you're going to do and care about your life, and not, because at the end of the day, nobody knows you in real life, and no one could care about your life if you exist or not. At the end of the day, we all have our own families. We all have our things that we have to kind of strive and fix. And my message would be, listen, it's all good to have fun and mess around. But more importantly, you got to be a good person. And there's I was thinking of Jordan Peterson quote that would be appropriate here, but I don't want to say it here because I think I'm kind of at the end of my mental capacity to have fun. But everybody knows where we are, and the one thing or person we can't hide from is ourselves. And at the end of the day, we go to sleep, and the last person that we think or could ask questions to is ourselves. And at the end of the day, if you're not happy with yourself, you got to do something to change it. Because if you don't do that, your life is not going to be better. You know what I mean? And so I appreciate all of you guys who come in, jump in, and like have this discussion with me. And I know that we're going to have moments where we have fun, or we have like complete conversations that are just completely ridiculous like we had today for entertainment's sake. But I do know that majority of you guys are doing things because you want to have a better life, you want to have a better job, and you want to accomplish the goals that you have set for yourself. There's plenty of Instagram celebrities living these lifestyles that are fake as hell. And if that's you, you do you. But I want to live my life the way I want to live my life. And I want to pursue the things that make me happy, but also make me a better person. Allow me to add value to majority of you guys that appreciate this channel for what it is. And I appreciate you guys. And yeah, the Jordan Peterson quote wouldn't make a sense. It's completely cute. The Jordan Peterson quote wouldn't make sense at this point. And I don't want it to be misconstrued. It's something about that you have to be able to be a monster to appreciate what good things are in life. And when you have that capacity, you understand and able to see through all this nonsensical BS that sometimes you find on YouTube. And I don't want to talk about that. Like, because I'm not Jordan Peterson, and because it's just like, I don't want to talk about, everybody has that side. You know what I mean? Everybody, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying. I could telepathically say all these things and you would get me. You know, it's this idea of men versus children. You know, it's like, I used to have this girlfriend. She was amazing, smartest woman I ever known, amazing woman, and she knew exactly how to like talk to people. And one day, she was talking to someone, like in a restaurant, they were being rude to her. And it's still funny because like obviously that other person could say whatever the fuck they want. But she goes to him, right now, you're acting like a boy. You're just a little boy. You're not a man. When you start acting like a man, that's when I'm going to listen to you. And it's hilarious because only boys would get upset with something like that. And only boys would feel like they need to defend themselves by telling the stories of all the conquests and everything else they do. Only boys need that attention that they might have not gotten from their mothers, maybe fathers, whoever. Like, you know, and everybody who's on this channel who gets it, you're a man, you're a woman. But once in a while, we're going to have a little boy. And those are the fun times, you know? And I totally get it. So, but with that being said, like it's funny. I'm like, this channel is going to get demonetized. I'm not monetized. I don't care. Anyway, guys, everybody who's still here, if you missed the stream, like, you could always look at it later. But thank you for tuning in. I just want to say, for everyone who's been here, you guys inspire me to be a better person. And I hope that I inspire you to do the same in your life. So thank you so much for your time, the serious questions, the not serious questions. And I will see you guys next time. And I probably won't do like a stream like this on Friday because I'll be driving back to Texas. But I will hop on my phone and probably do like something. But you guys are amazing as always. Thank you so much. And I'll see you guys later.